oh you know. Split up. Split up. Split up. Split up. I don't need a cosign, I'm already on fire. Try to catch up, I just got me some new followers.
I got into DJing when I was around 14 or 15, and I didn't really know what it was. I'd heard all these scratching sounds in music I was listening to, and I wanted to know how these sounds were made and try and make them myself. Initially, I grew up listening to, like, I guess, rock music and pop music, and as scratching became more prevalent in that sort of music, I got basically addicted to scratching. And through scratching, I learned as much as I could about hip-hop, and that became my thing. And as I kept on scratching, I soaked up loads of from what I was listening to, be it from instrumental hip-hop or dance music, and they all informed what I do now. Some of my proudest moments as a DJ have been my participation in the DMC competitions and winning a world championship in 2013.
I keep it player while some choose to play it safe.
Having my own little bit of history in there of being a champion in that long lineage of amazing, legendary scratch DJs, it meant a lot. Off the back of the DMC win and the stuff I did afterwards, being able to tour, like I've played all over Europe and Canada and going to Asia in a few weeks' time. My intention with music is always just to make stuff for fun and get better just for myself, like the challenge of learning new tricks, you know? Hip-hop and electronic music have always coexisted, and there's examples from the early 80s of dance music and hip-hop music combining. Records like Planet Rock, Nunk, The Message, combining elements of hip-hop with sounds from drum machines and synthesizers, and people like Herbie Hancock incorporating scratching and elements of rap music in his music. I think this combination of stuff is always going to be there, and I think it makes some super interesting music because you have all these, they're basically cherry picking all their favourite parts to make this ultimate record with all their favourite sounds in. The rise of the combination of hip-hop and electronic music in recent years is down to that sort of equipment being more readily available. Synthesizers have always been expensive, hardware samplers, all that sort of stuff has been expensive, but now that you can have it all essentially on your phone for less than £10, it's so much more of an accessible idea now than it would have been before, where people might have been more purist with their listening or creative habits. I think there's plenty of examples out there of people who've crossed over from either from hip-hop to dance music or dance music to hip-hop music. On an underground level, the first name that came to mind would be Andres who's originally from Slum Village, but he's always made Chicago house music as well. The other way around, there's Arca, for example, Hudson Mohawk, Kashmir Cat is another one who've produced for people like Kanye West, and they've originally been more electronic producers. Like Arca, for example, makes really strange, like almost like sound design, experimental music, and it's really interesting to see how people, like Kanye, have used his music. I think it's really good that dance music and hip-hop music can cross over and have done for so long. I don't think it's necessary by any means. Like, if you're super into one style and if you're an artist and have developed your own style, super sick. But I definitely think by listening and expanding what you listen to, you can learn so much from the techniques that are used in different styles of music. Looking at dub music, for example, I don't necessarily make dub music, but it's something I listen to a lot, and I'll take influence from it, and I'll use certain styles of delays and reverbs, which I've basically picked up from that style of music and I've wanted to incorporate. And I think, for anyone, there's going to be like a production technique or a way of arranging something that you can incorporate in your own music, even if you don't change the sonic aesthetics of what you're doing. In my opinion, surely that's a good thing. The more things you have at your disposal as an artist, the more varied your music's going to be, the more you're going to want to write. That's definitely the case for me. Like, the more I listen to, the more I discover new stuff, and it constantly influences me. Maybe too much, because I constantly want to make loads of different styles of music at the same time. But I think it's a really good thing for musicians to do, is expand their horizons of what they listen to. Even if they don't end up making that style of music, there's definitely something you can take from it.